If you're still working long hours every single day because you think that's the only way you're going to succeed, we need to change that. In this video, I'm going to cover how you can change your life in just 1 hour a day and become part of the new rich in this digital age. So no long intros, we're just going to jump right into the content. You're doing it all wrong if you still believe that you should be working 8, 12, or even 16 hours a day. Now, in 2015, becoming an entrepreneur became like the trend. Everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur. Everybody was starting a business. We were all following people like Elon Musk and Gary Vee, watching how they worked every single minute of the day, and we started to try to emulate that. You started seeing people changing their bios to CEO, hashtag grind doesn't stop, hashtag team no sleep. I mean, I was guilty of doing the same thing. So, it's just what was happening in that time. But most of us have a ton of responsibilities like a job, families, going to school, or even running a business. So we don't have that same time to be able to dedicate 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Let me tell you a little bit about my journey and how I got to where I'm at today. Back in 2016, 2018, I was working as a waiter in a restaurant, and I was working pretty much doubles every single day, double shifts. And the reason why I was doing this was because I wanted to save money to buy more camera gear because I had just started a videography business in 2016. At that time, I was working anywhere from 10 to 12 hours at the restaurant, and then I would go home and I would edit videos and photos until about 3 o'clock in the morning. Right after, I'd go to sleep, wake up, and I would do it all over again. It was very tough, it was very tiring, but I was proud of myself because I was hustling like everybody was talking about. Now, in anything we do, there's definitely going to be seasons where we need to work a little bit harder, where we're going to put in, longer days or, continue to work on something for weeks and put a lot of hours into it. But again, those are just seasons. Like when you want to launch a course or you're putting together, let's say, an ebook or, you're putting together a bunch of content, there are seasons where you're going to go harder than others. But in order for us to avoid the norm of working long hours and thinking that's the way to do it, we have to better leverage our time. We really just need about 1 to 4 hours a day to really start seeing changes within our personal life or our business, whichever one we're working on at the moment. In 2018, I decided to go full-time into videography, leave the restaurant, so I was working anywhere from 12 to 16-hour days. In 2020, I started my content agency right around the time of the pandemic, and I was working about 10 hours a day and also traveling to a lot of clients. In 2022, I hired some editors to help out and kind of give me back my time. And with that extra time, I started to actually build on my personal brand and start posting content. But I was still working about 8 to 10 hours a day doing that, between trying to do my personal brand and my content and also manage the team and make sure that the deliverables were there for the client. Now, fast forward to this year in 2024, and at the top of the year, I decided to just shut my agency down in January. And that's when I decided that I was going to be jumping into consulting, teaching basically what I did within my agency of marketing and content, but now consulting. Now I work about 4 hours or less, and sometimes more. It just depends on if I have a lot of sales calls to take on certain days. One person could be working 8 to 12 hours a day and be making $50K a year, like I was, while another person can work 1 to 4 hours a day and they make about $1 million a year. It's not about how hard you work. In the digital age, it's more about leveraging your skills, your knowledge, and your understanding. Now, I want you to remember this and drill this into your brain. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers, and the goal of an entrepreneur is to eventually work less, make more money, and enjoy their life. Many of these entrepreneurs are making 6 and 7 figures a year by barely working, and if they do work, it's because they actually want to work and they do it. But being an entrepreneur is the only way out of that trap of having to work 8 to 12 hours a day. Whether you're working for a boss or you're working for yourself, when you're working those 8 to 12 hour days, you're limiting yourself to only being able to make $50,000 to $300,000 a year, which that might seem like a lot of money to people, but you have a lot more potential to earn more. With the internet today and all the resources that we have at hand, it doesn't make sense to stay at that range. In my opinion, it's just dumb to stay there. I'm currently right now working about 4 hours a day, making more than when I worked 8 hours a day. But my biggest thing was that I wanted to have time, location, and financial freedom and not have to manage a huge team while doing it. When I realized what I wanted, that's when I started to build out the systems and also the product, which is now my consulting program. But until that product was fully built out, I was still running my agency and I was working 8-hour days trying to do both. Now that everything is in place, I really only need about 2 to 4 hours a day just to maintain it. Now, to a lot of people, it seems very crazy and unrealistic that somebody could only work about 2 to 4 hours a day. But that comes down to the belief system that we've been taught our entire lives. The traditional belief system that I'm talking about is, go to school, get good grades, graduate. Go to college, get good grades, graduate. Get yourself a job in a career, work that same career for like 30 to 40 years, and then finally retire around 65, 70 years old, if you're able to retire, because a lot of people aren't retiring these days, and then enjoy the rest of the years that you have left. That belief system is so ingrained in our society today, but the good thing is that the younger generation, they seem to be waking up and realizing just how fucking terrible that is. Today, a lot of the teenagers and like early 20s, they're starting to use the internet in the digital age to become famous and build out products and wealthy because they don't have the same belief system. And look, you can put a number to success, but at the end of the day, success is not about how many millions you can make. To me, success, and this is different for everybody, but to me, success is actually having control of your life and doing what you want to do on your own terms. And again, going back to the freedom of having the financial freedom, location, and time freedom. Once you're able to control your time, now you can actually focus on other areas of your life, like relationships, building more wealth, health, whatever it is that interests you. Now you have the time to be able to invest more time into that. Now, I'm going to break down what myself and others are doing. And for me, it all started with posting content and starting to build a following. Now, I don't want you to think of your following as just followers. This is actually your community. This is your tribe. These are your fans. And these are the people that bring traffic to you. This traffic loves to buy things and products. Some of the people that are going to be in your community are going to be looking for ways to increase their value by learning high value skills. Now, those people that are in my community, they like me for me. I am the niche. And the same is going to go for you because people are going to follow you for you. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust or aspire to want to be like that person. This is what I like to call your niche of one. And anytime I've ever built a product or a service to actually sell something, I first learned the information, I applied the knowledge, and then I took it and recreated it in my own way to resell it. Now, currently at the moment, I have a coaching consulting program that's for coaches, mainly in real estate, but it really applies for any type of coach. The price is currently at about $1,250 a month or $5,000 just paid up front. And the goal here is to try to build my community of 100 fans. The 100 fans is my community that I built through my content and my niche of one. You don't need to have a massive following to be able to sell digital products and be able to live your life on your own terms. If you start crunching some of the numbers, you'll see that you can easily start to make 6 or 7 figures from selling digital products online. Now, the next question becomes, how long is it going to take you to pick a platform, start creating content, creating your own niche of one, create a product, and then create a link that's either going to take them to a booking page to book a call, or it's going to have a page with a buy button on it so they can buy your product directly. How long is it going to take you to put this together so that you can actually live the life that you want? Now, when you're creating these digital products in the online space, there's 3 leverage models. The first model is going to be labor. In the industrial age, labor was the best model, but now that's more of an old way of thinking. In the digital age, we have AI, we have technology, and we have the internet, which is why you're starting to see a lot of the labor jobs disappear. When you work in labor, you don't bring a lot of value to the table unless it's a high-skilled value, something like a doctor, an engineer, construction, plumbing, things like that. But otherwise, most labor jobs are replaceable. But you can also leverage labor by hiring people like video editors or VAs to help you get your time back. In my case right now, I just have one editor who helps me save a ton of time throughout the week with my content. Now, the second leverage model is capital. I know you've heard this before. They say you have to spend money to make money. In many cases, people always say, oh, you should be investing in crypto. You should be investing in real estate. You should put your money in stocks. Now, the other thing that you can invest in, if you don't have a lot of money to begin with, is going to be information. And the reason you pay for information, you can learn a new skill, become more efficient, add more value, and you're also going to speed up the process and how long it takes you to learn that. But again, if you're anywhere from 0 to about 15 or 20,000, you don't want to put that into the stock market or real estate because it's not going to get you much of a return. You're much better off investing that money in yourself, or like Alex Hormozi likes to call it, the SME 500. So you can actually take the small amount of money you do have and start putting that more into coaching, books, courses, anything that's going to help you learn a skill that can bring you more money in the future. And then the third leverage model is going to be digital products. What I like about digital products is that you can build them at a very low cost, you can resell them multiple times, and they have pretty high margins. I prefer a digital product over a physical product because you have things like shipping costs, manufacturing costs, and there's so many things in between that can go wrong. Some of the best digital products that you can create are going to be things like ebooks, content, movies, podcasts, newsletters, courses, and you should also create free stuff and paid stuff. The free stuff should be leading people to your paid stuff. So now that we've covered building an audience, leveraging the knowledge that we have, and then creating a digital product to actually start making money, how do we actually get started? I'm going to cover the exact steps that you can take to actually do that. Number one, you want to build when you have the least amount of things on your mind and less mental chaos happening. Now, the best time to build something is going to be in the morning when you have the least amount of things on your mind just waking up. If you wait till the end of the day, so let's say you work a job and then you try to go home and build, it's going to be much harder because you just went throughout the whole day. You got other things on your mind. A lot of things might have happened throughout the day. You have stress. It's just much easier if you do it in the morning before you start the day. You want to try to get clear on your goals and then try to come up with a routine and stay organized so that you can actually stay on target. Now, if you're working a job that you hate or you're running a business that you hate, you're going to be very limited on time. Obviously, throughout the day, you want to try to dedicate as much time as you can to try building towards your new goal. But at minimum, you should just be doing 1 hour a day. This is going to help you immensely. Number two, you want to have time blocks throughout your day for productivity and creativity. You want to try to find some time throughout the day where you can fill your brain with either books, learning a course, more information, or just socializing about a certain topic. Then at night, you want to actually empty out your brain with all the information that was consumed, and you can actually do this by journaling, planning, usually like a to-do list for the next day, and then also meditating at night. In the mornings, try to use your brain power going directly to work and dedicating that 1 hour a day or more if you can to try to get in that flow state to build on your goal. So if you're going to do an hour, you can do maybe 30 minutes of deep work or 40 minutes of deep work and then go on a 20-minute walk or 30-minute walk, however you want to break it down. But just know that you're going to be dedicating that 1 hour to productivity and creativity. Number three is understanding you only have two priorities right now in the beginning. One, you want to build an audience, and two, you want to create a product. You want to focus on building an audience and a product that you can exchange with your audience. Your audience will pay you money for the product, and in return, they're going to get a benefit that changes their life. Now, the money you make from these digital products is what is going to allow you to be able to slowly remove yourself from the dependency of your employer or that business that you already hate. This is going to give you control over your income. And the goal here is to basically build a money machine that you'll be able to use that money to invest in later in things like we covered, real estate, stocks, crypto, whatever it is you want to invest in. Or you can also just put that back into the business to keep on scaling it and growing it. You want to start to focus on maybe freelancing or starting an agency or info products in this digital age. Now, number four is going to be your niche of one. You want to niche down, but remember that you are the niche. Try to pick 2 to 3 interests and then create content around it. And now you're going to try to figure out a way that you can actually monetize it. You want to start to research and generate ideas from what you're finding and create social media posts, newsletters, YouTube content. And in this part, you're going to take 1 hour a day to just sit, write, learn, and build your audience. And the last one, number 5, is actually building the product that we're talking about. Once you have the handle on building the audience and you have systems around creating content, making it easier for yourself, now you want to put your focus on building the actual product. This is also where imposter syndrome may kick in because you don't have the experience of selling a digital product and you think, well, how can I sell a product if I don't have experience? But the only way you're going to get the experience is by selling a digital product. So just start off by selling something either low price or free and start to give that out to your audience. Some of the best advice that I can give you when starting to build a digital product, because you don't have the experience, so you don't really know how, you want to actually learn from other people. See what their courses are, jump into their coaching, see what their digital products look like and invest in them. That way you can break down exactly how they're doing it, you can learn it for yourself, and then you can recreate any of it within your own version. Once you have this down, start to create systems so that you can continue building your niche of one. Now, just to recap everything we just went over, you want to build that product. Solve a problem in your life and sell the solution. Start to review courses and other products that have helped you and start to create systems to help you sell your niche of one. The best place to start is going to be with information products because they bring in a lot of cash flow. This can turn into a really successful business and give you the life that you've been wanting this entire time. Now, make sure if you like the video, you go ahead, you give it a like and subscribe. Now, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about starting a coaching business or you're currently looking to scale your coaching business, there's a video in the description down below where it's going to show you exactly how you can do that and how you can do it yourself. Now, if you want help, then you can go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I would love to connect with you. I want to thank you guys for watching this video and staying to the end. Peace out.